Hey y'all, I got an anime channel called Mystic Sage, where I do anime top 10s, speculations, and more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch to keep up to date with me, the channel, and even for some entertainment. Links will be in the description below. Thanks guys, enjoy the video. Pokemon Sword and Shield have been out for a little over a week now, and I pretty much love all the Pokemon in the game, with the exception of a select few. I'll be getting to my opinions on all the glowing Pokemon probably sometime next week. Regardless though, Pokemon Shield was really fun, and I enjoyed being able to discover the Pokemon on my own. The surprise aspect of being able to see everything brand new felt like I was a little kid again picking up Pokemon for the first time. Playing the games without looking at any of the leaks and data mines definitely made my experience a lot better. With that said though, creating my team was a rather difficult process because it was really hard for me to change my mind on what Pokemon I wanted to use at first. I kept seeing new Pokemon appear and I wanted to use almost every single one I ran into. Once I got around to the 6th gym though, I found all the Pokemon I wanted to use. And I gotta say, I'm quite satisfied with the results. Note that all the Pokemon on this team are brand new Pokemon. I didn't use any old Pokemon on this team because I wanted to make sure my experience was fresh. But yeah, you guys get it, blah blah blah, new fresh, authentic cool Pokemon. Let's just hop into what my team was because I'm sure you all are dying to hear what Pokemon I use. Starting off my team and starter Pokemon, I went with Scorbunny like I said I was going to. Sobbol's final evolution was a fat yikes the first time I saw it. I like Torterra more than it, and yeah, I went there. Torterra is better. There, I said it. Grookey's is alright, it's pretty dope. Raboot and Cinderace just take the cake for me though. I have always been a fan of rabbits, and seeing a fire bunny was something that we needed in the Pokemon series. Raboot looks like a little secret ninja from the Naruto universe. He's got the little mask on, and he looks like the edgy teenager I used to be. When I evolved my Scorbunny into Raboot, I loved it, but I was also really nervous at the same time for what its final evolution was going to look like. When I saw it for the first time, I can't lie, I actually had a really mixed opinion with it, but after a few minutes of looking at it, Cinderace actually turned out to be a really well designed Pokemon in my opinion. So from the get-go, I have loved Scorbunny's design, the middle evolution and the final evolution. What made me love Cinderace even further beyond anything was its signature move, Pyro Ball. This is honestly one of the coolest moves I've seen in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Cinderace just picks up a rock, kicks it a few times, and boom, a fireball is made. Cinderace then kicks the ball into the opponent and there's a fiery explosion. Like, what a great attack. I am super happy I decided to go with Scorbunny. I would honestly throw it in my top 4 starters for sure. Here's a Pokemon that I was going to use on my team that wound up sticking around being Corviknight. Now I've pretty much talked about how I love Ravens before in my previous videos about Corviknight and Pokemon Sword and Shield, so I will just skip that. Bottom line, they're one of my favorite birds. One thing however that I didn't talk about is a nickname that my Twitch chat came up with for Corviknight, being Nevermore from Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven. That name just blew my mind and I had to say yes to it. You guys should go read the poem as well, it's actually super eye-opening. Aside from the nickname, I want to get into Corviknight's previous evolutions, being its first form being Rookidee, and the next evolution being Corvisquire. Rookidee has the cutest cry. It's got an incredibly dope looking shiny, which I'll be hunting soon over my Twitch, go follow me over on there, and I think it's the best design early bird for a stage. Once I saw Corvisquire and read its name, I immediately realized this is a night-themed Pokemon. Yeah, when I saw Corviknight, I totally dodged that ideology. Corviknight also did amazingly well in my playthrough of Shield, having the Steel type helped out a lot because of the many resistances it has. Plus the power behind Corviknight is wild, and it looks incredible Dynamaxed. I don't regret picking up Corviknight. It is easily one of the best designed Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Coming up next on the team is a brand new Pokemon you guys may have expected me to get because of my love for foxes. I picked up Nickit and then later evolved it into Thievul. My first reaction to Nickit was, I knew I had to have it on my team. As a huge fan of Vulpix, I couldn't say no, and this concept was pretty neat too. When I first encountered Nickit, it reminded me of Swiper the Fox from Dora the Explorer, and then a miniature Robin Hood because of the cute little mask. It also reminded me a lot of Kidara from Inuyasha, Sango's little fox creature in the sense of facial features. I can see it, but I don't know about you guys. Thievul, on the other hand, is a very sneaky yet slick looking Pokemon. It perfectly resembles the fox I saw as a kid on TV and the cartoons. Foxes are always depicted as being sneaky and kind of corrupt. I mean, look at Swiper the Fox and the fox looking guy from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Plus the fact this line of Pokemon is also dark type adds up perfectly, and the design perfectly displays those sneaky foxes in the cartoons. I also want to say that the shiny Pokemon for these Pokemon make it that much more sneaky. The shiny is a grayish color and it brings out the dark type of the Pokemon. One more add about the dark type is that the foxes are also very cunning and lie a lot. The cartoons really made me believe that all foxes were cunning, sneaking bandits, which I mean the cartoons are right because that's exactly what Nickit and Thievul represent. This next team member I actually had no intention of picking up, but then my Twitch chat convinced me to get it. That Pokemon is Toxel, and then later Toxtricity. These two Pokemon have got to have two of the best designs in Pokemon Sword and Shield. They aren't the best designed Pokemon, but they are definitely for sure in my top 6. My biggest issue of Toxel though is how hard it is to evolve in the beginning because of the horrible moves it gets and how weak it is. I didn't think training it was going to be worth it. I mean, Nuzzle is nice because of guaranteed paralysis, but on a baby Pokemon like Toxel, it just gets decimated if the opponent can land out of the paralysis. The other move it has access to was Acid, which was its second stab attack. Acid isn't bad, but once again, it's frail. Overall though, Toxel is pretty cute and it really caught me off guard for what it was. I didn't even know it was Poison Electric until it evolved. I thought it was just a pure poison type. Yeah, Mystic is pretty dumb. It just goes to show how many best teams I've remastered, that's for sure. Going into Toxtricity, I love this Pokemon so much. Purple is one of my favorite colors, and having the yellow sparks is just so awesome. Then there's the low-key form with purple and blue, and that's just as dope looking. I prefer the Amped though, and for good reasons. I don't know if you guys remember the show called Static Shock, but Toxtricity is Virgil from Static Shock. Same colors, same concept. It's just super resembling of that series. Static Shock is such an underrated show, and I love Toxtricity even more because of it. Overall, Toxtricity is an amazing Pokemon, and I think a lot of people can agree with me. Also, the attacks it gets later on down the line, like Static Overdrive, is really sick. This Pokemon line is amazing, and I am super happy I decided to use it. Oh man, here comes the Pokemon I think all of you knew I was going to use. I'm sure I don't even really need to tell you guys what mon this is. It appeared in the 24-hour Pokemon stream in Glenwood Tangle. Yeah, it's Galarian Ponyta. From the moment I saw it, I wanted it to be on my team. The entirety of its design and the way how it looks like it belongs in Candyland. There's also the fact that I read a lot of fairy tales as a kid, and unicorns existed in those. I got an attachment to them, and at some point I even thought they were real, but I was just a silly kid. The entire time I was also really interested to see what Galarian Rapidash looked like. The suspense was killing me. I wanted to know if it was going to be a Pegasus where it had wings, or if it didn't have wings at all. I just imagined it day in and day out, trying to imagine what it could be. Unfortunately, Galarian Rapidash didn't have wings, but I will say I'm not all that bummed out by that. I was still really excited about the way how it looked. I remember as a child, I used to eat the Lucky Charms of the magical unicorns, so Galarian Rapidash just reminded me of those. Another factor that really satisfied me too was the fact that Galarian Rapidash was fairy and psychic, so the parties in conflict that were saying, "Oh, that's only psychic type," got what they wanted with the fairy typing added to Rapidash. It satisfies both parties, and I think the dual typing of fairy and psychic works really well too. The lore behind unicorns makes sense for the psychic typing, but the fairy typing also makes sense. I mean, when you see a Pokemon like Galarian Ponyta and Rapidash, you immediately think of fairy typing. I'm just glad I got to use this Pokemon on my team. I also have to say Galarian Ponyta and Rapidash are now in the number 3 slot of my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time. The last Pokemon on this list was the most unexpected Pokemon on this entire team. I needed a 6 team member, and I wanted a water type Pokemon, but then I saw that none of the water Pokemon were honestly not all that great looking. Like, they're just not. Then I thought about using a previous gen Pokemon being Gastrodon. Gastrodon is amazing. It has a great typing and very powerful move availability. I would even argue it's one of the best water Pokemon available for use. I didn't want to go down that route though, and I wanted to use something different. Then I was at the 6th gym and I found this cute little ice bug called Snom. I was really curious to see what it was, so I captured it. Then I saw its evolved form, and I immediately fell in love with it. Frostmoth popped up on my screen at the 6th gym, and my jaw just dropped because of how majestic it looked. An Ice-type bug is exactly the kind of Pokemon I've been waiting for since the release of Volcarona. That one Pokemon to rival it, and finally it happened. It's funny that an Ice bug Pokemon even came out, and it wound up being a moth. I look online for a lot of Fakemon concepts, and all the Ice bug typings I saw were Ice moth-like Pokemon like this one. So I'm glad the concept I wanted for that specific typing was used. Unfortunately though, just like Volcarona, once that poor old bug gets hit by Stealth Rocks, it's over. The other tragic part about it is also its speed. 65 base speed is really horrible in comparison to Volcarona's. Due to that, I don't think it's a Pokemon that will have very much competitive viability unless Trick Room is present or something. Its special attack is nice though, I guess, but the design is also nice, and I really do enjoy using it in an in-game playthrough. Whether or not it will make a best team, it's hard to say, but I still love Frostmoth and I want to put it on my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Well, that wraps up my finalized team for Pokemon Shield. I had so much fun using this team and exploring the depths of the Galar region. Using brand new Pokemon also gave this experience a new sense of adventure and excitement that I'm glad I got to experience again. It literally felt like being a kid again playing these games the first time. While I liked Pokemon Sun and Moon, those games didn't have the same feel as Pokemon Sword and Shield did. Pokemon Sword and Shield with the Pokemon introduced to us and some of the characters make me want to replay these games again. I haven't felt this way in a long time when playing a Pokemon game, so it's satisfying to be able to feel this way again. Anyways though, sorry for going on a mini rant. I hope you guys did enjoy this team and video. Be sure to tell me what Pokemon you guys used or are planning to use down in the comments below. I love hearing about everyone's first adventures and experiences. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weiss Austin,
Sudden Grider, and Enigma97 did.
And I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrand, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.